when you're out there bodybuilding and you've got all these other people around you eating heavy meat, low carb, trying to be ripped, and you walk in, have you been able to infect any of these guys to go plant-based?
It's funny that you use the word infect, because I really think that's what you're doing when you just live the lifestyle and not preach it too much to those guys, because bodybuilders are extremely high ego people, obviously, like you want to gain muscle, you want to become bigger. So what I learned through my experience is that when you start to eat the right things for you and they work out for you, people will come up to you and ask you, what did you do? Why do you get leaner? Why do you got so much stronger? How is this working? So I never really try to put it on people, but literally just give them, live by example and give them that real perspective what it is at the end. I can do it, it's available, and it's just super tasty on top of it.
Sure, yeah. And of course the biggest question is always protein.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So I'm curious because, bodybuilders and athletes, everybody's always counting their protein grams. Do you count protein grams?
I used to for several years, until to the point where I almost developed a sixth sense. So now I can eat a meal, see a meal, and I already know how much protein it is. So I don't have to count it anymore. But in terms of protein, it's always funny because most bodybuilders, I personally think, overestimate the amounts you need to build muscle. Yeah. Because I decreased my calorie intake, my protein intake massively, and I still was able to make more gains. Especially if you're more advanced, you don't need that much protein anymore because you're not going to gain 20 more pounds of muscle every year.
Right.
So. Yeah. As soon as you understand the scientific basis, what's going on a biochemistry level, it's basically the same. Like veganism, or for muscle building, it's not that veganism is any disadvantage, and people start to realize that now, and I'm really happy to see that transition.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I find, that you don't actually need as much protein, just even for a layperson too. You don't need as much protein as everybody says you need.
In terms of health, you don't need that much at all, I would say.
Yeah.
I think to stay healthy, the recommendations we have are pretty good. I think they're pretty accurate.
Yeah.
And everything else is basically a luxurious problem. Can you say that? It's do you really want to get that extra pound on you and then excessively eat the protein?
Yeah.
And for bodybuilders, that's their goal. That's their main objective. So I think if you want to do it on a vegan diet, just look that you still incorporate legumes, tempeh, lentils, and of course drink 1 or 2 protein shakes a day. Rice protein shakes, pea protein shakes, hemp protein shakes. It's all good.
Great.